Welcome to one more wonderful episode of Monday Motivation. While I was walking down to work, I was thinking, do we call it Monday Motivation or should we re-Christian it to call it Monday Gyan? Because most of the time, what I do is I share my experiences which I have gathered over the number of years and my learnings with you all. So I decided to call it a Monday Gyan going forward. Today's Gyan is all about miniature effect. When we talk about miniature, the first thing that gets into your mind is the word miniature tells us that making something big into a small. Maybe in an architect's office, you can see a large dam on their table with all the design that requires to get into building and constructing a dam, or in large apartment complex in a small miniature form. The same thing you will see in an industrialist's office with the machines that they make on their tables to show how they have the machines. For products which we can see a miniature. Can we also do it for services? The answer is yes. Today in the software industry, we use the agile concepts where we say prototype and do things in a smaller chunks, and we have learned a lot about miniaturizing. One of the things that I have experienced in my life is while building an enterprise, we have built it small with a small number of people to learn the details of how to do a business in IT services. Today, as we learn a lot by doing mistakes, we have taken down the notes and we are trying to perfect our processes and systems to be the best as we can take from our learnings and improve it day by day. Similarly, the food processing industry that I am part of, we started as a small team by delivering it to the homegrown pickles to a few members, to where we are thinking of expanding the scope to be a small scale industrial unit. The reason I'm talking about these examples is we learn a lot in both the IT services company or the food processing company is about how do we market ourselves? Who are our market segment customers? How do we brand ourselves? How do we put our products in a right frame to tell the world this is the services or the products that we have in offer? How do we do the packaging? Of course, software also requires a packaging and bundling. We create a jar file or we do some kind of deployments to make it happen. And same thing applies in the food processing industry. Same thing applies in a retail industry. Same thing applies to a hospitality or even a hospital healthcare. All these minute aspects is what we learn from our experiences. But when you do it at a magnitude of scale, without doing the prototype, without being a miniature, the chances of failure are much higher because you have no experience or you have no feedback about how it looks when it goes to the market. The best way to do is miniaturize your idea into a small pilot and try to do what best you can do as a miniature. Once you learn the art of doing it right, that's where you should target expanding your scope to a larger audience and to the larger markets. I hope this Gyan will work for you and you have enough time this week to think through and come back with your applications. If you have found this Gyan as a useful and you are trying to apply some of these best practices, or you are already using it because you know many of this, please try to share it as comments in this video. Looking forward to hear more and more from you and learning together and making our journeys great. Thank you and see you all next week.